Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. I am doing a spooky read-a-thon. Ooh. I can't believe I'm about to say this, for real. I love you guys. But my most highly requested video is another 24-hour read-a-thon, which, side note, be patient y'all. I hear you, I see you, I got something in the works. Anyway, since October is really the busy season of the fall semester, I do not have 24 hours to set aside to reading and then another 12 hours to recover from those 24 hours. So today we are doing a spooky read-a-thon for an undisclosed amount of time. Basically, as long as I want and as long as I can. Because I love binge reading. I love the vibe of 24-hour read-a-thons. I love just reading, done with a book and move to the next read. Like, it's so exciting to me. So I really wanted to do a 24-hour read-a-thon, but I just like genuinely don't have time. So we're gonna do a lot of hours today back to back and then probably a lot of hours tomorrow back to back. It's Halloween weekend. So I want to get into the spooky mood. I have a bit of a TBR for this video that I will actually go through with you. So I'm gonna start off with books that I'm definitely reading and then move into books that are my options for the day. The first book I'm gonna be reading is We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. This has been in my fall TBR for the past like 2-3 years, and every year October is busy season and midterms and I never get to it, but this year I'm so excited. It's very short, but I'm hoping it'll just put me in the spooky mood. This is a classic horror, I believe. Shirley Jackson's a well-loved horror author, I believe, and so I'm really excited to read, I don't know, something that is gonna be spooky and not normally something I would pick up. Next, the other book that I really want to read is Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I have wanted to reach for this all September and then I kept putting it off because I was like, no, this is a spooky Halloween book. I kind of fell a little bit out of it, but I'm hoping We Have Always Lived in the Castle will put me on that mood, you know? Oh my god, you're about to die. Give me a sec. Sorry, I moved because I can't remember to charge my camera. So, back to what I was saying. This will be my first official horror, my first official Stephen King horror. I don't really count Carrie, but it doesn't give horror. This, I'm excited. I've heard it's a classic. I'm pretty sure it's a Stephen King favorite, and so I'm really excited to read it, and yeah. I wanna get the full experience of what Stephen King's all about, you know? Okay, now we're getting into books that are on the TBR, these are just the options that I have. So going off Stephen King, I have Billy Summers by Stephen King. This, I believe, is more mystery thriller, but just look at, I just feel like this is just giving Halloween. I also believe this is a fan favorite amongst a lot of the booktubers that I watch. I don't know very many people who read horror, so this, I think, otherwise is like the fan favorite of Stephen King if you don't read horror. Next, I have The Ivies by Alexa Dawn, and this is a YA mystery thriller. I don't know if it's a thriller. It's a YA mystery for sure. I don't know if it takes place at like a private school, but basically it's, you know, all these people, these girls who are like the smartest fighting to get into the Ivy League schools. Someone's dead. It's pretty short, and YA I feel like typically moves really quickly, so I could see myself picking this up in the next 24 to 48 hours because it would be like a nice, easy read to get in. And then the last two books I have are Home Before Dark by Riley Sager and Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I haven't read anything by Riley Sager, but I have heard only good things about him and his horror thriller mystery books. This one, I believe, is about a girl who gets into a car near somewhere where there's been a serial killer on the loose and she's not sure if the guy she's in the car with is the serial killer or not. Home Before Dark, I actually don't know what this one is about. I don't know. I feel like because it's paperback, it'll be easier for me to carry around if I go places. So I'm going to go to the Duke Gardens with my friend. But I think these are the three I'm going to bring with me. Also, it's nice because they're all fairly small, so they'll fit in my tote really easily with snacks. Yeah, no. Anyway, let's go! I'm so excited. Hey guys, I am 68 pages in, so I'm almost halfway because I think it's about 140 something pages. And that was probably the slowest reading session I think I've ever had. Like normally I read about 100 pages an hour if it's a reasonably light book, sometimes a little bit less. But to be fair though, I was not expecting the sun to be as harsh as it was, and it definitely took so much energy out of me. So I kept on putting the book down and like trying to cover my face and resting for a bit because the sun was so draining. I was not expecting to read so little of this. I really thought I was gonna finish it and then start Salem's Lot because I do have plans tonight. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna go, partially because I wanna stay in and read and film, but also because I'm just so exhausted. Yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit more and then either start getting ready to go and then, or, you know, then really settle down to read for the night. But even if I do go to my plans, I'm gonna read when I get back and then I have tomorrow to read. I feel like a part of me is like, you should have known it was a classic, but I also think I underestimated this one specifically because I did read The Picture of Dorian Gray and there's a lot more of a plot line, whereas this one, it's way more atmospheric. I feel like it's not necessarily about what is going on, it's more about the experience reading it and kind of being able to see it. You know, it's very simple stuff like going for a walk, going to the garden. So it's not like the most interesting, but it is definitely like kind of fun to read this, knowing I want to be in like a fall spooky mood because it is a very atmospheric read, if that makes sense. I'll update you when I figure out what I'm going to do, but I'm definitely going to do some more reading right now and then we'll see where it goes. Guys, I'm fighting for my life right now because I decided to go to the event that I was talking about earlier. And so I got all dressed up in my costume, which is slaying so hard. If you couldn't tell, I'm Draco Malfoy. I literally have matching green Vans, a wand, a little Death Eater buddy in my purse, and a dark mark tattoo. And so I get dressed and I'm like ready to go. I even put mascara on for this. And I go online and I'm like, oh, I'll get my ticket to save the $5 that it would be at the door. Tickets are sold out. So looks like I'm not going. And I'm so annoyed because tomorrow what I'm doing for Halloween has nothing to do with Harry Potter. And so now I'm just gonna have a random dark mark tattoo for the next 2 to 5 days. I'm gonna have to scrub this shit off because it makes no sense if I'm not dressed in full Draco Malfoy garb. I can't. I really and truly can't. And yeah, so I'm gonna get unready and then I guess get back to reading. Honestly, I think I might like not waste a cute outfit and just go to Barnes. Like I'll take this tie off because I feel like that is not the vibe, but like just like a cropped polo and a black skirt, like that's cute. So maybe I'll just go to Barnes and live out my dark academia girl dreams because I'm a fool. I just like have to make sure I don't pull my sleeve up at all because people are gonna be like, are you okay? Oh my god, this is horrible. Okay, we're heading to Barnes to have some fun because now I'm sad and lonely. Alright, so I just finished We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson, which I cannot believe took me this long. But it is definitely a dense read, as I'm sure all classics are. It was not what I expected it to be, because I had always heard / thought that it was a classic horror, but I don't really get what was supposed to be scary or like a horror element. But I finished it, so I can cross this off my TBR, because I've had this on my physical TBR for ages. That leaves me with Salem's Lot next. I'm so excited to read this, but I'm gonna have to plug you guys in because you're about to die again. Oh my God. Why does my camera die so quickly? Anyway, alrighty, I've charged you guys up a little bit and we're going to start Salem's Lot. It's so funny, I've been so excited to read this for so long that now, like this instant, as I'm picking it up, I'm a little nervous that it's going to be slow like We Have Always Lived in the Castle was, and that is not what I need right now. I need something crazy. So if this gets really slow, I might put it down and start a thriller and then just read this throughout the readathon. Carrie was kind of slow, so that's why I'm like, we'll see. Whatever, we're gonna start it. Okay, so I just finished the prologue, which I feel like I didn't realize it was the prologue, but the chapters are so short. Some of them are like a few pages long, and then some like change on that page. There's 4 and then 5, 6, and then 7. So it already is like moving fairly quickly, but I'm assuming that's just like a prologue thing, and the rest of the chapters will be much longer. I'm excited. I'm already almost 30 pages in, so, or no, I'm like 20 pages in, whatever. So yeah. But also exciting, part 1 starts with like a little chunk from The Haunting of Hill House, which is written by Shirley Jackson, whose book I just read. So yeah, I just thought that was fun. Anyway. Guys, I am 76 pages into Salem's Lot and I'm cruising through. Nothing like too crazy's happening yet, but thankfully like the setup has been reasonably interesting. I was gonna try to get 100 pages in, but this chapter that I've been reading doesn't end till page 124 and I'm exhausted, so I'm just going to go to bed and pick it back up tomorrow and hopefully get a lot of reading in during the day. So far so good actually, I'm surprised, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up too soon. But so far, so good, not bad. Anyway, I'm exhausted. Good night. Good morning, guys. So it's actually like 12:30 because I slept way too late. But I am actually going to go to one of my favorite coffee shops in Durham, and I'm gonna go and get coffee, sit, and read. And that's gonna start off today's readathon section / portion of today's video. So yeah, we're still reading Salem's Lot, and yeah, that's about all. That's about it. That's about it. Ugh. Hey guys! Okay, I just made it to part 2 of Salem's Lot, so I'm 263 pages in, and gosh, what do I have to say about this? So, okay, The story itself, I'm enjoying. I don't know if this is a spoiler or if this is a thing, so I'm going to talk around it a little bit. Knowing what the evil is in this book makes me like, I don't know if it's like not scared. Like, it's not like a horror. I'm not like terrified, whatever, especially since like, obviously I know what's going on. Long story short, the book itself is pretty interesting. My one or two qualms with it, I think, is just a common reoccurrence with Stephen King's writing, is I feel like he always unnecessarily sexually objectifies the women in the books. I feel like there's maybe like one female character and she's like the tiniest side character, but I like noted when she was introduced, because I feel like there's not a single female character in this book that is not talked about in like a weird sexual way that makes me feel icky. And I just like, I know this book takes place in the 60s, but then also there's a lot of use of like homosexuality in the certain terms of like being something bad, and the F word is used a lot, and I don't know if it's like in an attempt to make it feel like, oh, takes place in the 60s, but this book was written in 2012. So I guess I don't know the timeline of when that word officially became like denoted as a slur, but this one girl, Ruthie, she's in high school and this old ass man is always talking about her breasts, and it just is like so icky to me. So yeah, there's that. And I feel like that was something in Carrie that bothered me. And like knowing that a man wrote this just makes me feel so gross. But it's so frustrating because the story itself is pretty interesting. And like I've read 260 pages. So like clearly it's like interesting enough to keep me interested in wanting to read. But yeah, the way he talks about it just makes me so icky. I think I'm gonna read some more. I don't know, I'm thinking at some point today putting this, because it is 6, I think I might put it down and take a break at some point and read the YA thriller I have, just like as a little, palate cleanser in between reading this, because it is like, I feel like it's definitely taking me a lot of time to like get through it. And it's interesting. It's not the most interesting, but yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. I guess that's all I have to say. I'll update you if I make any other decisions. So we'll see. Okay guys, I am just over halfway through Salem's Lot, and when I say just over, I mean like 5 pages over halfway. This is where like things are really starting to pick up. This is obviously gonna like take me a very long time to read. It's 8 o'clock, so it's been a while that I've been reading this and it's going so slowly. So I'm trying to figure out if like for this vlog, would it be better if I put this down, read a quick mystery, and then I would have read 2.5 books, or if I should just like keep plugging along in this and just to see how far I get. So the Ivies is 309 pages, so I feel like this I could read in about 3.5 hours, I think, probably at the longest, which would put me at 11:30, which would give me enough time to like clean up, get ready for bed, and call it a night. Should I read this? What do we think? Which, side note, by the way, like Salem's Lot really isn't that scary. Like I'm not like I don't think it's scary at all, but whatever. I'm gonna start the Ivies and we'll see, we'll check in, you know, and see how it's going. guys, I'm 120 pages into the Ivies. It's 9:30. It's been an hour and a half. So I'm reading a little slower than I'd like, I think, but that's fine because that still means I'll be done by midnight. Oh, that means I have less than 200 pages left. Anyways, long story short, the murder has happened, and so the next, I guess, 200 pages, less than 200 pages, are going to be solving the murder. I'm not in love with it. It's not as drawing as Good Girl's Guide was. Like, that one had you hooked and, like, things are happening left and right. This one is definitely a little bit slower on the information base, and it was like 70 pages, I think, before, or maybe more than that, 80 pages before the murder even happened. But I'm close to halfway through, so I can't really complain. I'll update you when anything interesting happens. Okay, guys, it's a little bit later. What time is it? 10:11. Okay, it's 10:11. I'm on page 178, so I'm just over halfway. I'm a little bit over halfway through, and it's at least picking up like a little bit. But I feel like honestly, it's giving like knockoff Good Girl's Guide. Oh, I'm sorry, but like she's trying to solve this murder, and it's just not. She's not Pip. I'm sorry, but she's not Pip, and Ethan is not Robbie. But I do appreciate a good little murder mystery situation, so it's a little entertaining. But yeah. Guys, it's 11 o'clock. I'm almost done with this book. I'm on page 259, I'm on page 260, so I have 49 pages left, and we still don't know who it is. But I feel like that's like obviously they wait till the last minute to reveal. But, I mean, it's a little bit interesting. I don't really know for sure, I guess, because some people are becoming more suspicious, but I feel like it was cold cut, like, oh, obviously it was this person, but now I'm like... But I'm suspicious of now of two people working together. Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense, but I really need to figure out who killed Ms. Girl. So I'm gonna get back to this because I need to know. All right, guys, it's 11:30. Oh my God, 11:29, I just finished. On the dot. That's crazy. The Ivies, what did I think? I didn't really like the ending, if I'm being honest. I wish it ended a little bit differently. I just feel like after reading a handful of YA mystery thrillers, this one just wasn't it for me. I'd give it about 3 stars. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series was all 5 stars for me. The Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes was 4 to 5 stars for me. Even her debutantes duology, which wasn't as good, was still like a solid 4 stars, I think. This just didn't give me what I needed. I don't know how to explain it. It just really wasn't terribly interesting. I didn't think most of the characters were compelling. Ethan, the like other main character, like I just didn't care for him. He really didn't have anything going for him, and then the murderer as well, I feel like didn't make sense to me. So that's that. I finished 2.5 books in this whole, well, actually not this whole time period. I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I finished King of Greed the other night after I finished We Have Always Lived in the Castle before I started Salem's Lot. But they're not a part of this spooky read-a-thon, or at least attempt at a spooky read-a-thon, because the hours back-to-back I didn't really get all that much reading done, which is so unlike me. But to be fair, these are all genres that I normally wouldn't pick up, especially these two, since I've more recently been getting into a YA mystery thriller, murder mystery situation. I got halfway through Salem's Lot, which I'm going to continue. I only put it down because I wanted to finish wrap this vlog up tonight, and then, you know, have more than just 1.5 books or 1 3/4 books because I really didn't have faith that I would finish this before it got too late. I am really torn with this one. I am enjoying it plot-wise. It's very interesting, and the setting's kind of interesting. I am just not a fan of Stephen King's writing, and I've talked about this in multiple videos. His over-sexualization of female characters is just not for me, but otherwise, like, I feel like this book alone is very interesting. But I am excited to finish it, so that'll be cool. But, you know, alas, it was fun, and, you know, it's It's always good to enjoy spooky season. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love every single one of you. That's that. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Bye.